How's everybody doing out there? This is Craig at Stumpy Grump Scale Speed Shop. Today's video is going to be the unveiling of the Revell 1968 Dodge Charger RT 2-in-1 that I've been working on. You've probably seen a couple of the progress videos on this one. This was a pretty nice kit. I did have a couple of issues with it, with the rear end housing and the firewall. I'll talk about those in the video. So anyways, let me shut up and get the camera turned around so you can check it out. All right, so here it is. This is the Revell 1968 Dodge Charger RT 2-in-1 Special Edition kit. This one was painted in Delta Ceramic Coat Fire Red craft paint. I did the vinyl top in Folk Art Pure Black craft paint. The body was cleared with Createx UVLS High Gloss Clear. I did clear the vinyl top with Createx UVLS Matte Clear. That's the paints and clears that I used for the body and the top. I used the Magnum 500 wheels, kit wheels, for this one, for the factory stock look. I added Fireball Model Works Goodyear Polyglass GT white letter decals. Obviously I used the black rear end stripe for it. The Charger RT emblem on the back panel, and the Charger emblems logos on the roof and on the front grille that you'll see coming around. Those are all decals that came on the decal sheet. Also the front and rear side marker lights, turn signals there. Those are decals. I used bare metal foil and Molotow chrome combination for all the chrome on the tail panel there. All my window trim and vinyl top trim and with the wheel well trim, all that is bare metal foil. I used aluminum paint, Ammo by MIG, for the inside of the grille to tone that down a little bit. The door handles, the gas cap, you see the exhaust tips. I drilled out the exhaust tips, but the door handles, the gas cap, you see the windshield wipers, those are all separate pieces. Very nice details added on to really make this stand out. Really nice when you get pieces like that that are separate. You can really add a lot of detail to it for sure. I did have an issue with the firewall in the rear end that I'll talk about a little bit later here. Okay, so we will take a look underneath this one. I just did some detail painting. I did not do any weathering or anything like that. Just some detail painting. Front suspension, everything fits really nice. Exhaust fits really good. I did take a pencil and traced out fuel lines and brake lines there. Just add a little bit of detail. Then we get to the rear suspension here, the rear end, and let me get the camera stationed securely and I will show you what I did with that, what the issue was and how I corrected it. You see I did drill out the exhaust tips and open them up too, if you can tell. Okay, so the issue I had with the wheels and tires on this one in the rear end was they sat too far inside the fender well, almost right up against that, and it just looked really weird. So I took the end hub here from the axle on each side, and I just chopped that off with my sprue cutters. Then I drilled into the axle. I don't know what size bit I used, but I drilled into the axle to open it up. I tried to use either a 3/32 or 1/8 inch styrene tubing, but the 3/32 was too skinny and the 1/8 was a little bit too wide. So I ended up finding some sprue that was actually inside the kit that really helped me with this. I took this piece of sprue and I stuck it inside where I drilled there. And then the other side, the other end of the piece, went inside that wheel retainer right there, inside the wheel back. So that's what I did. I'll bring it down. That's what I did right there. You can see how much further it sticks out on each side right there to get it closer to the outside of the fender well there. Okay, the second thing I had to do was get things positioned here so I can actually show you what's going on. Was the wheels set too far back in the fender well? They're almost right up against the back of the fender well here. And that wasn't going to cut it either. So what I ended up doing there is I cut the front of this little shackle piece off at the front of the leaf spring. I did that on both sides. And I also shortened up the U-joint here on the drive shaft. You can see the other piece. I cut the fronts of that off a little bit. And I had to cut the drive shaft because you had to move everything forward a couple of millimeters, which then centered the wheels in the wheel well. Okay, so now we'll go to the engine compartment. I added spark plug wires and a couple of other lines for detail. I did add battery cables. The heater hoses are kit supplied. That's a kit part. Okay, and while I'm in the engine, another thing I need to mention here is this little firewall piece right there. The instructions show you gluing it to the interior tub and then gluing the interior tub into the inside of the body. That didn't quite fit right. What I found the best for me was gluing the firewall into the fender wells in the engine compartment and the inside of the body beforehand, and then gluing the rest of the interior in. I'll move it over here so you can see the battery cables a little bit better. I'll swing it back around. Let me pop the air cleaner on. Okay, the reason it's off is the hood does not fit. The stock hood does not fit on this 440 engine with the air cleaner on it. So if you want to display it with the hood closed, you got to pop the air cleaner off. One alternative is to use these hood hinges that come with the kit. Now, if you use the hood hinges, you can't shut the hood. They're meant to just go in like so to pose it with the hood up like that. So you can display it like that if you'd like. But if you want to display it with the hood closed and the stock engine and air cleaner's got to come off. So now we'll go to the interior. You see right away I did add the door locks. Do that on pretty much everything. Nice little quick easy detail to do. I used a sewing pin for the shifter, and in hindsight I probably should have used a black one. I got a bunch of different colors. I used a red one. I thought it would look cool, but it just kind of sticks out like a sore thumb, at least my opinion. Half cool, half like a sore thumb. Okay, that top chrome trim piece I did in bare metal foil, but the door handles and window cranks and everything like that I used Molotow chrome that I brush painted on. The center console is bare metal foil. I did use a silver metallic Sharpie to try to give it an aluminum look inside there like it's supposed to have. And those little lights there on the side of the console you do get in the kit. I just dabbed a little bit of, to me, a clear orange in there. Yeah, I'll bring you over to the other side. Try to get a shot of the gauges. You do get gauge decals that apply to a clear piece because that part is open on the dashboard, those two gauges. So they'll set in pretty good. And a better shot of the center console. I'll bring around and show you the back seat area. Not really focusing too well, so we won't go there. Close-up shot of the vinyl top. Now I do have a tutorial in the works, probably in a couple of days. I'll have my vinyl top tutorial if anybody's interested in how I do my vinyl tops, how I did this one. Pretty simple and easy. So despite those issues that I mentioned with the rear end and the firewall, this was still a pretty decent kit. Pretty nice. I really enjoyed it. I did not have those problems with the first one I did, the purple one, that I recall. But I did use different wheels and tires for the back, which would have filled in the fender wells. But not taking anything against the kit. 187 pieces in this one. So a lot of extra parts. You can build it any number of ways, from complete stock to complete drag and anywhere in between, with just the kit supplied parts. So you can't really complain about that. The fit on everything else was pretty good. The bumpers fit on good. The interior went together like a glove. Everything fit really nice in the interior. Most everything, the exhaust lined up real good. The engine fit in really good. The engine built up nice. The suspension pieces went on without an issue. The shocks and the front there, all your front suspension parts, those all went on real good. It does have posable steering, but a little pin broke on one of the sides, so I had to glue that in, so that kind of erased the posable steering on this one. That was my own doing. No fault of the kit. Okay, so that will do it for this one. Really nice kit, really nice car, really enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more content coming up here on Stumpy Grump's Scale Speed Shop.